I'm Mariana Vasconcelos from Brazil. I'm looking forward to see all the innovators in food. So we are all together collaborating to guarantee food security in 2050. Reducing chemicals in the fields and producing more, like guaranteeing that we have food. But the natural resource is mainly soil, water, and less chemicals. I think GMOs are important because I think we cannot feed the world only with organic things. I think each thing has its roles, and as weather is changing and it's affecting the ability of produce food, we need things that are different from what we had before. So we need to create more resistant seeds and have new ways to survive to the different contexts that we are in. But of course, I think it has to be done with responsibility and ethics and transparency so consumers know what's being done. But I think risk has always existed and will always exist. And when we innovate, we are for the both sides, right? There should be some bad sides, but I think the positive impact should be higher. We started commercially in 2015, and now in the end of 2015, December actually, and now with a year of sales, we are in 50,000 hectares. So we are growing very fast, and we just structure our commercial teams locally because we have hardware in the field, so we need support as well. And we are just starting with our international projects in Bolivia, Mexico, in the US. So we plan to be all over the world soon. Yeah, I think the key is to be close to farming, actually understand what their daily challenge is. And I think we should never take only one perspective to make a decision, just sensor, just satellite, just everything. So we try to learn as much as we can and use like machine learning and this kind of things to actually be able to look to a scenario and find a way that is more sustainable. I studied business, and in Brazil many people say like, who studied business is because they didn't know what they wanted to do, and I'm not that person. Like, I always knew I wanted to study business, and of course sometimes I lack some technical stuff, but you can learn anything, right? So I think I made the right choice to have a systemic view. I think role models are super important. When we see girls ahead of deep tech companies and doing an impact of the world, it motivates. But also I think bringing science early in their lives is super important. I personally just really got in touch with science when I went to Singularity University, and I was already like my age. And I thought, wow, maybe if I knew that when I was younger, I would be doing way more, or maybe chose another area of studies because I end up because of my family in agriculture. But if I knew all of these things that science can make, maybe it would stimulate girls to get more involved. We don't have infrastructure network, so our cell phones doesn't work in the fields. There's no way you can send the data over. Satellite internet is super expensive. So there is some projects and some new protocols that are arriving and they are being tested. And I think the whole mindset of government in general for policy making and incentivizing also needs to change a bit. So let's suppose we have fields here in a farm that could be soybeans, corn, or whatever. And we have sensors in the ground and measuring rain and other weather conditions in the fields. So we keep monitoring it together with, wow, that will be hard, with drones and satellites. So we monitor the crops itself to understand what's going on with the soil, with the water, and with the weather. So we can give farmers the recommendations on what they should do every day. Like how much they should irrigate, where should they apply fertilizers or defensives that it has more needs, so they can save water, energy, and increase their yields at the same time. And the most important thing is that this is a cycle. So we have a lot of changing conditions in the fields. We are suffering from climate change and we need to increase production. So we use this monitoring to learn from farm to farm what is going well and what's going wrong. So we can recommend the farmers how they should act up to this changing environment and make better decisions, creating a more sustainable agriculture. Is that okay?